Are you ready to take a trip down memory lane with us? Today we are ecstatic to revisit a cinematic masterpiece that has stood the test of time. Brace yourselves as we delve into the world of Mighty Ducks, a sensational movie that first graced our screens in the year 1992. So sit back, relax, and relive the magic of this timeless classic. Hello and welcome to I Am Movies. The movie begins with a flashback of a young Gordon Bombay, who is playing in a high-stakes hockey game for his team, the Hawks. Under the pressure of his coach, Coach Riley, who demands nothing but victory.
Now you missed this shot. You're not just letting me down, you're letting your whole team down too.
Bombay misses a critical penalty shot, causing the Hawks to lose. Coach Riley tears into Bombay, leaving him traumatized. Fast forward to the present day, where Bombay has become a successful lawyer renowned for never losing a case. After a particularly successful court session, Bombay leaves a party drunk and is pulled over for reckless driving. Facing charges in court, Bombay works tirelessly to defend himself, only to be sentenced to community service and have his license suspended. Enter the ragtag group of kids from District 5, who love nothing more than playing tricks around town. They're the least skilled hockey players you've ever seen, and Bombay is tasked with coaching them. Despite his childhood traumas with the sport, he accepts the challenge.
Drive out on the ice. It'll be all right.
But the kids don't make it easy for him. They mock him, saying he doesn't look like he knows anything about hockey and that he can't possibly teach them anything. Bombay knows he has his work cut out for him, and he pours all his effort into turning these underdogs into winners. In the midst of his coaching efforts, Bombay meets Charlie's mother, who is unhappy with his reckless driving on the ice with the kids in the car.
Your mind? What were you thinking putting that car on the ice? My son was in that car!
Despite his claims that he's comfortable on the ice, she believes he's not fit to coach the kids and puts up a fight. With Bombay's coaching and the kids' determination, the District 5 team begins to show improvement, leading to a thrilling and heartwarming finale that will leave you cheering for the team's success. Some days later, the team was up against another team, and not just any team but the Hawks. Walking into the arena, Bombay felt goosebumps as he remembered the events of his childhood where he missed that shot. His coach Riley walked up to him and was surprised to hear that Bombay would be coaching against his team. Well, with a team like the District 5, the Hawks are sure to win the game, and they did win. The District 5 players didn't get a chance at all. These guys are just not qualified to play hockey at all. The first half game was intense and the Hawks were rough players. Coach Riley was happy his team wasn't losing, but it was obvious he was just taunting Bombay. Bombay was sad his team was losing, but were they sad themselves? No, and that's where the problem lies. These kids are not bothered about losing at all. They found losing comfortable. After that day, Bombay spoke to the kids about hockey. He wanted them to see the reason why they had to win. But it seems they need more than that, as they still got to lose again. Charlie seems to be a little bit good at hockey, but when the Hawks played rough, Bombay tried to get them to cheat.
I want you to grab your eye like it's cut, and then hit the ice. Got it?
Charlie didn't do as told, and they lost once more. Even if they have never won a game before, the kids were not caught out for cheating. This doesn't impress. I feel it's a good thing though. Integrity is really needed in everything. What do you guys think? Are you in support of them cheating just to win? Let's hear your thoughts in the comment section. That night, Bombay paid a visit to Hans. Hans was his friend while he was a kid. They had lost contact with each other when Bombay abandoned hockey back then. Bombay took Hans as a father. Bombay told Hans he was on community service, and that is why he was coaching the team. Hans, seeing that Bombay isn't making progress with kids, so he advised that he used a different method in training the kids. Hans advised that if the kids loved the game, they were going to win.
Teach them to fly.
And that worked. Bombay paid Charlie a visit at their home and apologized for how he spoke to him at the last match.
It was very wrong of me to ask you and the other guys to cheat.
Surprisingly, Charlie accepted his apology
Do you want to stay for dinner?
and agreed to give the game another chance. After then, Bombay paid his law firm a visit. He requested they give him money for the team. Yes, the team needed the money. After getting the money, Bombay used it to get enough equipment for the team. While at the store, Bombay got to know of Fulton Red. He attends the same school as the kids and is nice to them. Although he looks fit to play hockey, he wasn't on the team because he plays football.
He only plays football. Some preppy school gave him a scholarship as long as he doesn't play hockey.
Moving on, Bombay taught the kids the basics of hockey and the kids were now getting to love the game. Things were now different. The kids are catching up with the game. Among all the team members, Bombay was very fond of Charlie. He bonds well with the kid, and they got to know each other well. Now there is this driver who is known to trouble the team, always parking in their training ground. Fulton taught him a lesson one day. While that shot was massive men. This got Bombay's attention, and he approached the boy with joining the team. Well, Fulton's reason was that he doesn't know how to skate.
I don't know how to skate.
Bombay didn't see it as a problem, though, since it was something that could be learned. One more member gained, and a strong one at that. Now it was time for rebranding. Bombay announced the new name for the team. They would now be called the Ducks.
You don't want to be Ducks? You'd rather be District 5, some stupid number?
This is as a promise Bombay made to Mr. Duckworth when he requested for some money. This name doesn't sit well with kids who felt they could do better than bearing ducks. Well, Bombay found to get them to like the name. The team is now stronger than ever, and even their mere appearance at the next game
Come on, guys, this isn't a library. Talk to each other.
proved they were not there to take things light. The Hawk knew they were in for it this time around. And for the first time in a long while, the District 5 team, now called the Ducks, finally scored against the Hawks. This was a great news, and the whole community were shocked. But Bombay wasn't done with the Hawks, no, not yet. Bombay made some research and found out that the Hawks star player, Adam Banks, is meant to be playing for the District 5. He showed evidence that Adam stayed in the District 5 and his original team at the Ducks. He threatened Riley to have Adam withdrawn from the Hawk. While the two coaches were arguing, some members of the Ducks heard the argument, and when they learned that Bombay once played for the Hawks, they lost trust in him, also misquoting what they heard him say to Coach Riley. The whole of the team refused to play in the match since they believe that Bombay doesn't need them. Well, all the kids left except Fulton and Charlie. Bombay met with Charlie in a restaurant and told him that he was going to leave the team.
Terry's dad. And he's going to take over coaching for the rest of the year.
Charlie tried to make him change his mind, but Bombay felt that was the best decision for the team. Charlie is really sad about this news, but the rest of the kids? Well, I can't really blame them for their actions. Ducksworth makes a deal with Riley for the Hawks to keep Banks, which Bombay, although initially tempted, refuses on the principles of fair play, which Ducksworth berated him about when he started his community service. Left with the choice of letting his team down or being fired from his job.
Are you prepared to lose your job over some kids, some game?
He takes the latter. That a huge decision to make.
Prepared to fire me over some kids? Some game?
What can we call this? Well, I see it as pure passion for hockey. I can see the pain in Riley's eyes. Adams is his team's star player, and if he doesn't play for the Ducks, he would have to not play at all. But Adams was clearly in love with hockey and doesn't care which team he is playing for. Bombay paid a visit to the kids' school where they were been grounded for quacking at the principal. He was able to gain back their trust and made them understand him more. He told them he was going to coach them and isn't going to leave anymore.
What's done is done. I want to be your coach again.
They all returned to the base to prepare for their upcoming game. Well, Adam is going to be playing with the team now, although it is clear that the kids don't welcome him. Can't blame them for it, can you? He was a Hawk who is their longtime enemy. Well, sooner or later they will have to accept him as their own. The Ducks display their impressive skills in a game against the Huskies. The match is an absolute blast, and the Ducks are pumped to have qualified for the playoffs. Banks, initially an untrusted member of the team, proves to be an invaluable asset. The team gets a chance to meet with the Minnesota team and witness one of the most incredible hockey games ever. During the match, the Ducks are recognized, and their excitement knows no bounds. Now the moment of truth has arrived. The playoffs will determine if the team can qualify for the championship. The first playoff game is against the Hornets, and the Ducks glide to a graceful victory with their incredible teamwork. But wait, there's more. Something has been brewing between Bombay and Charlie's mom. Did you know that Charlie's house is like a second home to Bombay? Well, look at them kissing. How adorable. But let's not dwell on that, as Charlie fully supports them. Back to hockey. The second playoff game is the Ducks versus the Cardinals, and the Ducks win with the same effortless grace as before. Now, the ultimate showdown, the Ducks versus the Hawks. But all we can see is Bombay versus Riley, recalling the events of his childhood. Bombay knows that his team must win this game. In the first half of the game, the Hawks play rough and win 2-0. However, the Ducks are not discouraged, and Bombay encourages them to try harder. Meanwhile, the Hawks coach instructs his team to injure Adams to force him out of the game.
I want you to drop Banks like a bad habit. I want it out of the game. Finish him off, you got it?
Following instructions, one of the Hawks injures Adams just as he scores a goal, taking him out of the game. Bombay takes a timeout and designs a play that he called the Flying V.
Show me the flying V. All right.
To represent the Ducks when it flies. This was one of the iconic clips in this movie. Meanwhile, Charlie steps up to take Adams' place and performs exceptionally well. But a Hawks player trips him as time runs out. Just like Bombay in his youth, Charlie is faced with a game-deciding penalty shot. Unlike Riley, who told Bombay that he would let everyone down if he missed, Bombay encourages Charlie to take his best shot and assures him that he will support him no matter what.
But that doesn't matter, Charlie. What matters is that we're here. Look around.
Inspired by Bombay's belief in him, Charlie fakes out the goalie with a triple deke that Bombay taught him and scores, winning the state championship. The Ducks players and their families burst onto the ice in jubilation, and Bombay thanks Hans for his support. Hans tells Bombay that he is proud of him.
Thank you, Hans.
I'm proud of you, boy.
And as Gordon raises the championship trophy, the team rallies around him, chanting Ducks in triumph. A few days later, Bombay boards a bus to a minor league tryout arranged for him by the NHL's Basil McRae of the Minnesota North Stars, who played pee-wee hockey with him in his youth. Though he is daunted by the prospect of facing younger players, he receives words of encouragement and advice from the Ducks that he had given them, promising to return the next season to defend their title.
We'll see you next season. We got a title to defend.
As he hugs each of the Ducks, he kisses Charlie's mom in front of the kids. What a happy ending for everyone. What do you guys think about this movie? Let us know in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button for more.